Let's talk about three most disappointing teams in the college football season. And coming at number one, I think it's got to be the Florida Gators. They had high expectations, potential fringe college football playoff contender, and they kind of messed around in the South Florida game and lost it. Now, to call a spade in that football game, they had two touchdowns that was taken off the board due to penalties. So I think if those two teams went back and played again, Florida would probably get the win of the game. But the fact is, you still lost to a South Florida team, and then you come back the next week and you play LSU and DJ Lagway throws five picks. It looks terrible. They kind of abandoned the ground game that they maybe need to try to get back to if they're going to salvage their season. But for a team that had expectations of going 9-3, 10-2, making the college football playoff, now the fan base is back calling for Billy Napier's job, and the team, the way they're currently playing, looks like they might go 3-9, 4-8, if even that. They're really been disappointing. So for me, that's why they come in at number three. And then number two, I'm going to have to go with Texas, as Texas was the number one team. They'd have been one of my two preseason picks to win the national championship. I don't know what happened with Arch Manning. He just came out of the gate and it's like he forgot to throw a football this year. In his last game, he had a string of 10 straight incompletions. In the Ohio State game, if you just watched that game, it was just god awful just trying to watch Arch Manning throw anything. He was one hopping receivers like he was playing baseball, and it was just terrible. But on the plus side, Texas is a good defensive football team. That defense is going to keep them in every game. Their next big challenge will be when they play Florida in the swamp in a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens there. But if Arch Manning doesn't get back on track, then Texas season's really going to be hard to salvage for him. So for me, I got to put Texas in at number two. And then I'm going to give an honorable mention before I go to number one, and that is UCLA. I think UCLA it just feels like it's been the most mismanaged team of the offseason. They got Nico from Tennessee, and then Tennessee got their quarterback Joey Aguilar, and Nico was on a UCLA team that can barely fill out the stadium for the football games. And Joey Aguilar is over, almost beat Georgia. Really, they should have beat Georgia if the kicker could make the field goal at the end of the game. And the start of that game for Tennessee, they were just coming out, and Joey Aguilar was just throwing dimes all over the place. But Nico is not looking like that was a great decision to give up all the NIL, took half the money, got to pay the California tax rate to go on a garbage football team. So UCLA is going to make the honorable mention for me. And then coming at number one, I think it's got to be Clemson. Clemson had all that return of production this year. Had all the receivers back. Cade Klubnik was a potential Heisman winner. The defense would have had to improve, but actually the defense has taken a step forward. I think this year they kept Clemson almost every football game. Klubnik just I don't know if it's lack of the ground game or what, but Klubnik just doesn't look comfortable back there in the pocket. He's having to constantly be on the run for his life. They can't get no push on the offensive line running the football. They don't have Phil Moffitt anymore that could just run people over and convert maybe busted plays into a few yards, if not 20, 30-yard runs. So I wonder if Clemson's going to get back on track. You've kind of seen it before where Clemson can start out slow and it's like they figure it out as the season goes on. But if they don't, this is going to be a really bad year with all the expectations. Is I really thought this was their year to win the ACC. They have everybody coming back. You didn't really know what she's going to get with Florida State. Miami just lost Cam Ward. Georgia Tech looked like they could be a contender. Especially with Haynes King and all the pieces they had coming back. But it kind of felt like it was Clemson's to lose. And I would say right now they're going to have a tough time just winning the ACC this year. It's going to take a Miami, a Florida State, or a Georgia Tech to really stub their toe down the finish line. So for me, Clemson makes the number one as the most disappointing team. Feel free to tell me what y'all think in the comments, and thank y'all for watching.